Hello, this is day 19 of my daily vlog. First off, what's going on in my personal life? I've finished the contract. I'm still waiting on the person to respond back. I don't even know, I can't see if they've seen it or not. So I'm just waiting, basically. In the meantime, there's another person who responded, but they're searching for like 50 people. I'm not sure if they're going to pick me or if it was just spam. Also, there was a giveaway, let's say, at work, and anybody who wanted ice cream could sign up. So I signed up, I got a shitload of ice cream, honestly, and I've had trouble fitting it into the freezer. So I took what was left and I went to my neighbors and I gave it to them. They were grateful and I got rid of the ice cream, so that felt nice. Also, I've been researching how to start a podcast, and I think I'm going to start at least one. I think I've got everything set up. I'm going to record it on Audacity. It might take half an hour to an hour, who knows. The only thing I have to figure out is what topic I'll be covering. So right now I'm thinking about D&D for people who have no idea how to play D&D in English. D&D for people who have no idea how to play D&D in Slovak, which is my native language. And maybe some third thing, maybe something about voice acting, maybe something about creativity overall, just a broader topic. I know I want to start the Slovak one because some friends have been asking me about that, and I think it's a good start to learn all the mechanics of podcasting. So in the next days, expect something of that sort. If you have any ideas for it, the three of you watching who are actually interested in it, please let me know what I should actually talk about, because D&D is a really broad topic, and that's why I picked it, sort of. You can talk about writing, about storytelling, about voice acting, about interactions with people, about meta, just organizing a group. You can talk about making maps, figurines, spending it on books, min-maxing, the types of people you'll engage with, arguments, all that stuff. So it encompasses many different topics, which is why I fell in love with D&D in the first place. I just haven't played it for quite a while. So I'm kind of looking forward to it because I think I'll also start getting back into D&D to have more material to talk about on the podcast. The second part is going to be, again, one of my thoughts or the things I've read about or learned. And today, I want to talk about multitasking, because I think it is quite the buzzword in today's society. And people really focus on it, and on every interview I've been so far, they've asked how good I am with multitasking, because it's a requirement on the job. The main book I've read that sort of set my mind on my current opinion about multitasking is this, which is Daniel Levitin and his The Organized Mind. Quick disclaimer, I've since read The 7 Deadly Sins of Psychology, and it has disputed some of the findings that this book uses. So it's not as clear-cut as it seemed. It's a deep topic about what's going on in the world of psychology, but overall I think the book has quite a few interesting findings on how to organize your life. And I'll get into that in the next days, probably, because I want to go through this book. So, back to the main point, which is multitasking. Multitasking is supposedly you focusing on multiple things at once. So, you're in a car, you're thinking about whether you left the stove on, you're driving, you're watching your co-driver next to you, and at the same time you're setting the radio for something. You now are doing 8 things at once. So that's a good example of multitasking. Well, as it turns out, some research has been done, and it seems that people are not multitasking. They are in fact very quickly switching from focusing on one thing to focusing on something else. And that's happening back and forth over and over again between those 8 things. And as it turns out, every time you switch tasks, that's when it takes energy and getting focus back on that one task. So once you're focused on something, it's not that hard to keep focusing on it. But if you switch, and for a short period after you've switched, that's when a lot of energy is expended. This explains why multitasking is so so hard, I would say, and it's really taxing. At least for me, I cannot do it for long. It's really demanding. The research shows that it's actually making you less productive. It's not helping you, it's hindering you. So you're much better off focusing on that one thing and staying focused on it, and then switching to another thing instead of hopping back and forth between ideas. My personal experience, definitely true. This helped me 100%. I stopped multitasking and set up, let's say, a regimen of when I wanted to do what, and until the calendar told me that, oh, you're about to do something else, I tried not to focus on anything else but that one thing. And maybe it didn't help my productivity per se, but it definitely helped keep the calm in my mind. So I knew that I could focus only on that one thing and didn't have these side fears of, am I not missing out on doing something else, or that I should fear that I'm not going to have enough time to finish something else. So if I give myself time up front and I know that I've set aside a specific amount of time for that one other thing, if the thought, because the thought will inevitably come, but when it comes that I should be doing that other thing, I can just say, oh, but yeah, I've already set up time to do that when I'm not going to be doing this thing number one that I'm doing right now. So I have a slot for thing one, which I'm doing now, and a slot for thing two, so I don't have to worry about it until that time comes. This is sometimes called flow. I don't know if you heard about it. I can talk about it more. But once you reach flow, it becomes super easy to do that one thing really effectively, and it doesn't drain you of energy. And I don't mean that in a literal sense. I mean that you don't feel drained after you've done it for a while. You can tell when you're in flow when you turn around and say, where did the last hour go? It's already been an hour, Jesus, or something like that. So that's flow. And it helps a lot, and multitasking is the bane of flow. If you have never tried it or don't know if it would work or not, try it. It's not that hard. Just set one day where you're going to have an hour at a time, and you will only do that thing which you've set for that hour. So for each hour in the day, set up one thing to do. If something demands more time, give it more time. If something demands less, you can give it less. But once you've set the amount of time that you want to do that thing, try to really focus on it, and until you feel like you're really finished and nothing else can be done. For me, it's been a really liberating experience. I no longer felt like I had to worry about 10 other things at one time. So I'm steering away a bit from multitasking now, and I'm steering a bit into setting up your calendar really detailed. I can follow that up tomorrow. The main thing I wanted to point out today is that multitasking is by several studies proven to be bullshit. And if you're multitasking, you're probably just switching from one thing to another really quickly, which still might be a thing you're good at. I'm just saying that it costs a lot of energy, and even if not, I think it's a missed opportunity for you to get into flow more. That's it. Thanks for listening. This was day 19, and I'll see you tomorrow.